Hi, I'm Dan McPartlin, owner of the Comforted Kitty, and this is my video newsletter. And the topic of today's video newsletter is going to be 5 common health problems in cats. So, like humans, cats have some health problems that are more common than others. And sometimes these health issues can be serious and even fatal. So it's good to be familiar with the signs and symptoms of these common illnesses so that you can seek veterinary help that is, when needed, and also take precautionary measures to minimize the risks. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Common health problem number 1 in cats, which is feline obesity. So similar to humans, obesity is unfortunately one of the most common preventable health problems in cats. In North America, approximately 30 to 35% currently of the feline population is obese. Cats are usually considered overweight when their weight exceeds about 10 to 20% above their standard or ideal body weight. And above 20% is considered obese. So if you're wondering if your cat might be overweight, one simple yet rough way to find out is to feel for the backbone and ribs of your cat. If you're having a difficult time finding them, then that probably means your cat is overweight or obese. So what are some risks of obesity in cats? So, well, obesity can cause a fair amount of significant health risks to your cat. It shortens their life, and it also makes them more susceptible to various diseases, as you will see later on in this list. Some risks include diabetes, cancer, heart disease, hypertension, arthritis, and even urinary bladder stones. They can even develop a life-threatening condition called hepatic lipidosis, I think is how you pronounce it, which is a devastating liver disease. So it's definitely some major health problems to consider with obese cats. Well, how can you prevent obesity in your kitty? Indoor cats, as you probably can imagine, tend to be more susceptible to gaining weight and becoming overweight, and that's due to them being less active than an outdoor cat. So this doesn't mean you should make your cat into an outdoor cat. I would never recommend that. Rather, you should just monitor their diet properly and also make sure to give them enough exercise during the day so that they can keep that weight healthy. And I'd like to give you some other effective strategies for weight management with your kitty. So first, I would ask your vet for recommendations on the most appropriate food for your kitty, according to their age, breed, and body type or body condition. Number 2, obviously give your cat enough exercise. You can even use interactive feeding toys, such as food puzzles, that will allow your cat to work for food. It's a good way to give them some extra stimulation and some extra movement when they're eating. You can even, another tip I could give is placing bits of dry food around your home so that the cat has to go hunt it out. Because not only is this giving them that extra exercise to when they're eating, but it also stimulates that natural instinctive drive they have in them to hunt for food, which is natural to cats out in the wild, and so they will be used to that and they will enjoy it, searching out for the food. Because cats, of course, have very sensitive noses, and so it's a fun little game to have them play. Number 3, again, visit your vet and do that for regular checkups to avoid any unnecessary health issues that could develop in becoming overweight. They can help detect early warning signs of any diseases or illnesses that are developing from a cat becoming overweight. All right, common health problem number 2, worms. So worms are basically internal parasites in a kitty. They can affect cats of all ages. They can affect both indoor and outdoor cats. And they can be susceptible to a variety of parasites such as roundworm, hookworm, and tapeworm. Now, the primary way that cats tend to get worms is rather unglamorous. They tend to get it from eating the feces of other infected cats. But also cats can, like a mother cat can give it to her kittens as well. That's another way. As far as symptoms go, symptoms can include a distended abdomen, a lack of appetite, diarrhea, vomiting, bloody feces, loss of weight, anemia, abdominal tenderness, and even worms visible in their feces. But with all that being said, sometimes cats don't show outward signs of having worms. So this can be especially problematic. And some parasites even have zoonotic significance, which basically means that it can produce disease in humans as well. The parasites can. So if you suspect that your cat might have worms, then please take them to the vet immediately for further treatment and diagnosis of it. Okay, so how can you prevent or help prevent worms from getting into your kitty? Well, first of all, you can keep your cat indoors. That way they avoid stray or outdoor cats that might have parasites, and also other carriers such as rodents and fleas and the feces of those critters. Also keep all of your pets, the bedding of the pets, your home, and even your yard as flea-free as possible, since that is one way they can get worms. Also maintain good hygiene while cleaning the litter box and dispose of their poop properly. And you can even follow a routine deworming schedule and consult with your vet for any further advice on that. All right, common health problem number 3, which is feline leukemia virus, or FELV. So you might have heard of feline leukemia, and it's basically a highly contagious retrovirus that severely inhibits the cat's immune system. It's one of the most common infectious diseases of domestic cats in America. Transmission of the virus mainly occurs through bodily secretions like saliva, nasal secretions, urine, feces, or blood from an infected cat. The virus is unfortunately quite deadly, and it kills almost 85% of infected cats within 3 years of contracting it. And it does this by weakening the cat's immune system and essentially predisposing it to deadly infections. So symptoms of FELV, those can include fever, light-colored gums, diarrhea, chronic skin disease, respiratory infections, breathing difficulty, loss of appetite and weight loss, change in behavior, and vision and other eye problems. So how can you prevent your kitty from getting FELV? Well, the best way is to eliminate the source of exposure, obviously. So first you can perform routine testing to detect this disease and keep your cat away from outdoor cats, since they tend to be the carriers of it. If you're introducing your cat, a new cat, to your other cat in your household, always isolate that cat if it's sick, the new cat that is, and maintain a quarantine period so that you can determine whether or not the kitty has FELV or not. All right, common health problem number 4, which is dental diseases. So periodontal or gum diseases are common in cats, like in humans. About half of cats older than 4 years old suffer from some sort of dental disease, such as gingivitis or periodontitis, or even tooth resorption, something that I know about because my kitty has that disease, unfortunately, and so she's had many of her teeth removed because of it. So let's talk about gingivitis. Gingivitis occurs when the gums around the teeth are inflamed and they produce pain. This is the result of a slow buildup of plaque, which is just a bacterial growth on the surface of the teeth. And if you don't regularly remove this plaque, it'll eventually turn into dental tartar, which is a yellow or brown mineral deposit on the teeth. That's very difficult to remove, and it also can cause serious infections with the teeth. If you leave the gingivitis untreated, that eventually turns into something called periodontitis, and that will eventually lead to tooth loss. So it's definitely something you want to prevent. So what are some symptoms of dental issues? Well, it can be bad odor from the mouth of your kitty. It can be swelling or pain in the gums. It can be difficulty eating. If you notice your cat is not eating as much or is just having a hard time eating, that can be a sign, or even loosening of the teeth. All right, well, we've talked about all the bad effects of dental disease. How do you prevent it in your kitty? Well, the best way to prevent dental disease in your cats is to brush their teeth and brush them regularly to remove that plaque. This may not be something you've heard of before or may sound quite ridiculous at first. The thought of brushing your cat's teeth doesn't sound very appealing or maybe even feasible, and it definitely can be difficult to do, but I would definitely try it with your cat. And if you can't, then you can try getting a professional to do it, groomers or somebody else that may be able to, but it's definitely worth trying because it's one of those things that's easy to prevent. The treatment is easy, I guess you could say, or the prevention is easy, right? I mean, you're just brushing your teeth and you're preventing all these more painful and costly effects of dental disease that you'd have to deal with should you not do it. But if you don't do it, it's like you're just gonna cause much worse things to happen down the road. So it's just something that you should do and do regularly. You can even get specially formulated toothpaste or gels for this from your vet. And you can even get special toothbrushes, like little miniature toothbrushes or finger brushes that will help with this process. You may also want to give your cat a mix of dry and wet food. Add in a little dry food if you only feed your cat wet food, because the dry food can help loosen up the plaque. You can even try giving them treats, like hard treats. Greenies are always a popular option for that. They're not gonna, they're definitely not gonna be like a toothbrush, so they're not a replacement for that or a replacement for brushing the cat's teeth, but they can definitely offer some additional help with it, especially since your cat's probably going to enjoy treats or kibble more than a toothbrush in their mouth. And then also clean your cat's teeth weekly if possible. And then have routine checkups with your vet. They can check the teeth and see how they're doing and recommend any possible treatment or professional cleaning, which is something that a lot of vets will do. Your cat may or may not have to go under anesthesia for that, but it will definitely clean up their teeth, and they can do x-rays and see if there's any more serious issues going on with the teeth, such as tooth resorption. That's how I found out with my cat, Pixie. She went in for routine cleaning and they did x-rays, and turns out the x-rays showed she had significant tooth resorption occurring, and so then we had to schedule to get the teeth removed. But that is one of the benefits of going to a vet to have that done, is they can see any further stuff, like further illness or something that's going on that you can't just see with the naked eye, just as if you went to a regular human vet, right? All right, so finally, the fifth most common health problem in cats is feline lower urinary tract diseases, or UTIs as they're known. So this includes a group of feline diseases such as urinary bladder stones, cystitis, urethral plugs, and bladder cancer. UTIs can affect both male and female cats. even though it tends to be, I think, more common in male cats, but or that's at least when I see it most. But also obese and unfit cats can be more susceptible to UTIs. Other risk factors include stress, a dry food only diet, and a multi-cat household. So what are the symptoms of UTIs? Well, that can include difficult or painful urination, dribbling of the urine, vomiting, frequent urination, straining during urination or dehydration, inappropriate urination, pus and blood in the urine, licking around the urinary area, lack of appetite, and depression or lethargy. One obvious sign that your cat probably has a UTI, and something that us as pet sitters tend to see, I have certainly seen it a number of times pet sitting, is when they suddenly stop urinating. If your cat stops going to the bathroom, stops peeing, that is a very bad sign. It's called anuria, and it's an emergency. So you need to take your cat to the vet right away, because it can be deadly to your cat. In fact, it can actually kill your cat in less than 24 hours if it's not treated for possible surgery. And like I said, I've seen this before, and this is one of the reasons why I always recommend that when you have a pet sitter or just anyone coming over to see your cat, at least have them come over every 24 hours, because this is one of the reasons. If your cat develops a UTI, which I've seen it, and they tend to actually happen when you go away, because that can stress a cat out. And when a cat gets stressed, one of the things that can happen out of that is UTIs. And so they can be more prone to UTIs when you leave, essentially, on a vacation. But if you're having your pet sitter come over, every few days or whatever it may be, just not at least every 24 hours, then they may not catch this in time. And so, again, this can be fatal. So you don't want to play around with this. It's not worth it to your cat. So, as far as treatment goes for UTIs, that can range from antibiotics all the way to surgery, depending on the severity. And then how do you prevent UTIs? So, first of all, you want to maintain your cat's ideal body weight. You want to, for sure, make sure that they're drinking enough water daily. This can be challenging for cats, or being a cat owner. Cats tend not to just drink water a lot, and so sometimes you have to find creative ways to get them to drink more water, which can include adding water to their wet food and mixing it around, or just other ways to get them to get more moisture in their diet. Also, keeping your cat physically active is important, and then just in general fostering a stress-free environment in their home, because that's always essential for your cat's proper mental health. So there you have the 5 of the most common health problems in cats. If you ever see any of these signs or symptoms with your cat, then I would suggest taking them to the vet as soon as possible for early treatment, and to avoid it developing into more serious health issues. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to get our help with professional cat sitting services, the best way to do that is to go to our website, comfortedkitty.com, go to the Book Now button and fill out our short request services form. Give us 1 to 2 days to get back to you with sitter availability and the next steps in scheduling the meet and greet. And I will see you later.